Hey guys. Did you notice anything different? That's because we got robbed. No, I'm just kidding. We're moving. Yeah, we're officially moving out of Arizona after 2 years of being here. We moved here from Columbus, Ohio. Sorry, I'm groggy. I'm sick. But with that being said, moving, all the big life things happening this year, I just wanted to do a quick little update video of just for those it matters to. I don't think it's really matters. It's just more of something I need to get off and out into the world just to explain my ever absence lately the last couple months, because there's definitely some things that are planned and that have been planned but kind of have to be on the shelf for a bit. I think the last video I actually made was maybe January or February this year, because once February hit, I think it was kind of go time for, getting the gears in for moving and, all of the work things and just so many things. So I'm gonna dive into that just a little bit. So yeah, the first one, we're moving out of Arizona. Justin and I, we moved out here like 2 years ago, almost on the dot, from Columbus, Ohio, which is where we met. And we've loved it out here. It's been awesome. Our lease is just ending, and I think with us getting married in August, we wanted to have the wedding back at home, like the home area, which is like East Coast between Ohio and West Virginia, and spend time with family. It's something that we haven't really been able to do as adults. Things are just different, and so to be able to go back home for like the next like 6 months and basically live in our parents' basement and spend time with family is pretty exciting. But yeah, after we get married in August, we're doing a month and a half-ish honeymoon in Europe, which I'm super excited about. And then when we come back, we're gonna spend some time with family for the holidays, and then we are moving to Boise, Idaho. Yes, we will be potato people. We were cowboys and cowgirls here. Now we're gonna go be potato people. It's very fitting, I think. We usually get two different kind of reactions when we tell people that we're gonna move to Boise, Idaho, more specifically just Idaho as a concept. It's either why, what is even in Idaho, or oh, that's awesome, I have family there. We visited there for like a week back in October last year, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Has some like small town vibes, which we kind of missed from Columbus, Ohio. But all that to say, we're going to be moving to Boise, Idaho in like January next year. So super excited about that. So on to a little more work related kind of updates. It's interesting. I've technically been a full-time freelancer for about 2 years now. But the last year, since like May or June, I've been a full-time contractor with none other than Riot Games. I know, pause for shock factor. At least for me, I'm still shocked. But yeah, I mean, I've been working with them for about a year now and still going strong, and basically just a part of the team and working full-time hours and everything. Getting to work with a couple designers and my manager and art director, and working on just some really, really fun stuff, specifically for Teamfight Tactics. That's the game that I'm helping work on. And needless to say, it's been the most rewarding experience of my entire career. I've always wanted to find a foot in the door to entertainment, and more specifically with the gaming, and in what better place to do that than Riot Games? And the way that it happened to was just actually a stroke of luck, and more to it too. There was work behind it, but I still consider it luck. And all that to say, I've been working with them like nonstop. So I actually haven't had any other clients. So it's definitely not been like a freelance life. It's been more of a full-time job life. And so that being said, definitely less time to dive into writing for YouTube and to, sit and record and do things like this, and like tutorials and weird ideas that I have for future videos. So that is kind of like an interesting trade-off with like being a freelancer and having a different schedule every day, having like different routines and everything, different clients, stuff's always changing, versus a full-time job kind of life or full-time contractor where things are pretty set in stone. You have specific hours. For me, it's more of like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. So when things are very structured like that, you know, it's a little harder to try and like fit stuff like this in, which is a little more free flow, organic, and little more Wild West, you know. But yeah, it's career-wise and just experience and the amount of things that I've learned is unmatched. I still can't believe that they still want me to work with them. And I have a lot of work to show for it. A lot of portfolio projects and things to show off later. But yeah, I'm excited to see what else we get to make this year. It's going to be awesome. Now on to some YouTube things and, you know, personal projects and all those fun things that I love stacking onto myself. So there's been a special project for a special project that I've been kind of working on the side. And for those who follow me on LinkedIn, you might have seen some behind the scenes process, storyboards, thumbnails, that kind of stuff, somewhat recently. To kind of TLDR it, in a little bit of a spoiler, it's gonna be an ongoing series. It's for an ongoing series that'll be on YouTube, where I hate using the word podcast because that's not in my mind what I see this as. But it will be some kind of form of talking to other professionals and all walks of life within the creative field, but people that are just excellent at what they do, from all kinds of backgrounds, and doing some interesting formatting with how I talk to them and the kind of stuff that we talk about. In my mind, to kind of make things fun and make things different within it, throwing some activities in there, throwing some stuff that's just different that you don't typically see from creatives kind of talking to each other. Super vague, I know, and I apologize. But that's kind of all I can really say for right now. I want to spend the proper amount of time to work on this, to develop it, have the foundation where it needs to be. But in the grand scheme of it all, it's something I'm super excited about. I think will be a really fun series. But this little mini special project for that project, that's going to be a while too, because I want that to be done before, you know, it's kind of like the whole point of the reveal of it all. I'm doing a lot of hand motions, I'm sorry. So yeah, keep your eyes out for it whenever I do post stuff about it. It's just going to kind of be one of those, it'll be done when it's done kind of things. Especially with what this year has in store, just from like a personal life side. I want to just give it the proper amount of time that it needs to be successful, and like let it breathe once it's alive, I guess. But other things to come for the YouTube channel, more templates, more files, more tutorials, all of the really good stuff, maybe a font here and there. There's some that I'm actually needing to wrap up, but just more resources and things for you guys to play with and to ask questions about, find out that there's a template that we didn't even know that we needed, and that's something that I can hopefully contribute to and provide for everyone in the community to use and thrive with. I've got a whole bank of YouTube video ideas, and some of them are a little more wild than others, but I think that is something I really want for the channel too, is just to kind of experiment. I don't want it to just be a tutorial channel or anything like that. I want it to be a little more dynamic and essentially kind of thinking about what are the things that I wish I had in my like resources and just access, you know, as a art student, or as like a high school kid that was very much into art. I was the only art kid in high school, and the resources and access to things was definitely much more limiting. So I had to do everything by myself. What are the things that I can help create to help educate those that didn't even know that something existed? That's kind of where I want to kind of take some of these videos. And something else that is super exciting for the YouTube channel, there has been some talks with other companies and other channels to do some cross collaborations in the creative realm, if you will, which is super exciting. I've been solo here since March 2022. Yes, March 2022, last year. So it'll be really cool to actually cross collaborate and kind of meld some different brands and ideas together. So keep an eye on that as well. What else can I update you with? I don't even know who's going to be watching this, but this is probably more from me when I watched this later and was like, oh shit, that many things was going on at the same time. I just want to give a big shout out. Sorry. I do want to give a shout out to my future husband to be, Justin Havey, just for all of the immense support and just everything. Just everything he's gotten me through and just keeping me sane, reminding me that I'm still good at what I do. Because believe it or not, as a creative, sometimes you need validation. Sometimes you need validation, and sometimes you can't always be the one to have to hype yourself up. Sometimes you need that person that just understands you on that different level and can remind you that, like, you're here for a reason and you're doing great. So I love him to death, and he's killing it too. He just went freelance as a video editor, colorist, shooter back in like August last year. So he's been killing it too, and it's just really fun to be able to like bounce more ideas off of each other. And like, we're going to be collaborating on some potential actual client projects in the future too. So I'm just excited for us and what we get to do together as well. But yeah, I think it's time for an outro. So overall, it's not easy for me to have to take a break from making things. Making things is my complete MO as a human being. And so, you know, having all of these things kind of just like wrestling with each other in my head, but not being able to like sit down and do anything with it is kind of frustrating and kind of drives me mad sometimes. But I think for me and just what this year is going to bring, and it's already planned out for us, and just getting to enjoy family time and learning more from my full-time contracting experience with Riot. I'm just immensely thankful. There's no other way to put it. And I'm just thankful for everyone that watches my videos. I mean, you don't have to watch my videos. There's people out there that do this a lot better than I do. But I appreciate the people that are kind of along for the ride and that give suggestions for future videos and, you know, explain how it helped them with something or helped them understand something. Like, that means everything to me. Again, this whole YouTube endeavor is kind of what I wish I had access to when I was younger and getting into art and didn't know that entertainment and design and motion graphics was like the thing that I really wanted to get into. So anyway, sorry for the sappy sob story. Something that I've learned this year too is that the work can wait. It really can. It's going to be there when you get back if you want it to be. You know, you can't really trade anything for family and just taking care of yourself, and you'll get to it when you get to it, you know. So guys, thank you again so much for watching this and all of my other videos or whatever videos you have watched, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.